I witnessed a stranger's act of kindness that changed how I see humanity. I've always been a cynic. Pinkering up in New York City, I learned early to keep my head down, avoid eye contact on the subway, and assume everyone had an angle. The world seemed increasingly divided and self-centered, especially after 2 years of pandemic isolation. Last winter, I was having one of those days where everything goes wrong. My alarm failed, I spilled coffee on my last clean shirt, and I missed my train by the time I reached Penn Station during evening rush hour. It was pouring rain. I'd forgotten my umbrella and I just wanted to get home. The station was packed with irritable commuters, all of us wet, cold, and desperate to escape. That's when I noticed her an elderly woman, probably in her 80s, looking completely lost. She was clutching an outdated flip phone and a crumpled piece of paper, her hands shaking as she tried to read something in the dim light. I did what most New Yorkers would do, pretended not to see her and kept walking. Someone else would help. I had my own problems, but as I passed I heard her quietly say, me, in a voice so small it was nearly drowned out by the station noise. I hesitated, then reluctantly stopped. I'm trying to get to my granddaughter in New Jersey, she explained, showing me the address written in shaky handwriting. She just had a baby and I promised I'd come, but I've never taken the train alone before. I checked my watch. Helping her would mean missing my train and waiting another hour. I was about to give her quick directions to the duffel area when a man in a business suit stopped beside us. I couldn't help overhearing. He said, I am heading to New Jersey too. Which town is your granddaughter? And the woman showed him the paper. Montclair. The baby came early and my daughter-in-law is still in the hospital. My granddaughter is alone with her first child. The businessman smiled. That's just 2 stops before mine. I'd be happy to ride with you and make sure you get there safely. I expected the woman to be suspicious. Parent, we're taught to be wary of strangers offering help. Parent, but she looked at him with such relief that I felt a twinge of shame for my reluctance. What happened next changed something in me. Instead of simply escorting her to the train, the man bought both their tickets, carried her small suitcase, and then called someone parent, presumably his family parent, explaining he'd be late because he was helping a fellow passenger. As they walked away, I impulsively decided to follow them, not out of suspicion but curiosity. I watched as he helped her onto the train, settled her in a seat by the window, and sat beside her. Through the window, I could see him showing her something on his phone. Pictures maybe of his own family. I didn't take that train. I didn't witness the end of their journey, but that brief interaction has stayed with me for months. In a world where we're constantly bombarded with stories of division, hatred, and selfishness, this simple act of kindness between strangers, parent, a busy professional going out of his way to help an elderly woman reach her new grandchild, parent, restored something I didn't realize I'd lost: faith in basic human goodness. I've started looking up more on my commute. I've helped tourists with directions, held doors for people struggling with packages, and once spent 20 minutes helping a non-English speaker navigate our complicated subway system. These aren't heroic acts, they're the small threads of kindness that, woven together, create the fabric of community. That businessman will never know how his simple act affected me. Paired a cynical bystander who witnessed something beautiful in the chaos of Penn Station. Sometimes the most profound changes come not from grand gestures, but from quiet moments of humanity that remind us who we can choose to be for each other.